Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Today, I got a fun top deck for you. Something different, something interesting, and you guys are going to like it. So, with that said, we'll talk about the main board. We'll talk about the sideboard. We'll talk about how to sideboard for those best of 3 matches. And then additionally, we'll go play some competitive Magic in both best of 1 and best of 3 for you today with the deck. Now, this particular deck hails to us another one from the Platinum to Mythic, 6+ wins. So very, very excited about this. But before we go and check it out, I just want to say thank you. As always, Planeswalkers, I'm truly appreciative of your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, you can like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on hot content like this daily. And then additionally, I do have my Untapped profile down below, so we're off to a fast start already. You guys can keep dibs and track down below on how I'm progressing. And then additionally, I have the companion app by Untapped available for you down there as well if you'd like to share your journey with me. So I'd love that when you guys do that. And then lastly, please feel free to hop into the Discord channel that is below in the description as well. Come hang out with us. Love doing that. And then additionally, one last way to support the channel as well in there, you can feel free to become a patron. I launched that within the last couple of weeks here, and we are running some MTG Arena Sleeves giveaway. So anyway, Planeswalkers, very excited about that. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and check out today's top deck because it is definitely interesting, and I'm excited to pilot it for you. So we have an Azorius Midrange deck, and I'm calling it Azorius Midrange because, one, I slightly struggled, to be honest, when you look at it, with the perfect naming convention. So it's really a mid-range to kind of control and late-game deck. So I settled on mid-range, and I did that based off of some of the stuff that we'll talk about here in a second. But for those of you that are new, for those of you that are returning, deck list is available for you down below in the description, so you have access to it right away. Again, the deck link's there, and I get a lot of questions about some of these decks now, so please feel free to ask in the comments down below. Why didn't you put this in the deck? Why didn't you do that? Again, these decks are decks that have already been played, things that have been found to be successful. I also do my own brewing, but I'm happy to help, and I'm always all about you making it your own play style and feel. I enjoy covering these things as they are and play the main board in best of 1 and play the sideboard obviously in the best of 3 style. So just wanted to call that out quickly here. Now, this particular deck is Azorius because it's both blue and white, islands and plains, giving us the Azorius clan from Return to Ravnica. And then I'm calling it a mid-range because most of the action is happening here in the middle of your deck. In terms of the curve, we got actually a lot of creatures as well in terms of kind of what I would say your general control side of the house versus control, I should say. So that is why I'm going with Azorius Midrange on this particular deck. And then the objective really about this deck is hunkering down, locking our opponents down within the mid-range space, but we do have some nice closers here if the game goes later. So it's a nice, good mid to late game deck, and then again has a lot of those nice control components that everyone always usually loves about the Azorius decks as well. So Planeswalkers, we're going to run through the list here. I'll do a quick flyover. We'll come back and talk about each of the cards and the mechanics, and then we'll talk about our sideboard, and then we'll talk about how to sideboard here. So here's what we got going on briefly, again, as I like to quickly look at the deck in its entirety so that we can kind of see how it fits in. This particular one, what you'll notice is there's a lot of 1-of, 2-ofs in terms of the cards. So pretty interesting in terms of the options that we're going to have. I always get a lot of questions about this. I, in particular, enjoy having 1-offs because it provides answers. And in this meta particularly, there's so many decks. You guys can check out my tier list videos. We just did like 40 of them. I think it's nice to have that broader approach. Again, just my opinion. Otherwise, if you go more of the 4-ofs, you're going to have more of a linear deck progression in terms of what you're trying to do or even in your objective at times. So first off here, we got Mazemind Tomb. So this is one of my favorite staples, again, from M21. Now at this point, we see it in almost every deck, well, at least the control decks. Here we can tap this, put a page counter on Mazemind's Tomb, scry 1, or for 2 we can draw a card and tap it, and then once there's 4 of those counters on it, and you get a counter when you tap it and draw for 2, we exile it and we gain 4 life. We have Unsubstantiate. So this is a new one from M21. Here we get to return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. So this is very, very powerful in terms of a bounce. So it can give you a turn, delay things, and do a lot of things in your favor. Additionally, it's instant speed. So this is also a good one for combat tricks at times. Then we have Negate, a counter target non-creature spell at instant. Here we begin to kind of get into our creatures. So we have Archon of Emeria here. So this is a pretty interesting card. So first it's flying. Second, each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. So very, very important. So this is your ability to lock decks down from a control perspective that you'll notice rather quickly here with some of these cards, and slowly chip away. So you lock them down, and then non-basic lands our opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, and there's a lot of those as well in particular right now, so keep that in mind. So this is very, very important from that perspective. Then and it's not a legendary creature too. Then we have Omen of the Sun. So this is a one of enchantment with flash. When it enters, we create 2/1/1 human creature tokens, our soldier tokens, and then we also gain 2 life. And then we have that ability to scry 2. We have Skyclave Apparition. Again, one of my favorite cards in white and plains here. It is a creature core spirit. When it enters, we can exile target non-land permanent with mana cost, convert mana cost 4 or less. And then boom, it's gone. And then when this creature leaves the battlefield, the exile card's owner creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the converted mana cost of that exiled card. Then we have Brazen Borrower here. So this is a nice one again in terms of bouncing. We can return target non-land permanent and opponent controls their hand for 2. We got a Flash Flyer here as well. That's a 3/1, but it can only block flying creatures. Then we have Neutralize. So again, another counter spell here at instant speed for 3. We do have a cycle as well if you need it. We have Heraldic Banner here. So 1, this gives us ramp. 2, we choose a color when it enters, and creatures of the chosen color get +1/+0. When I look at what I have here in the deck, most likely you are going to be choosing plains or white, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. We have Faith's Fetters. So this is a pretty interesting card again from M21. So we got some nice M21 cards in here. We can enchant permanent. Again, enchant permanent. So keep that in mind, enchant permanent. I'm going to say that again because you don't see this a lot. When Faith's Fetters enters the battlefield, we gain 4 life. Enchanted permanent can attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So remember that. So this should help you in a multitude of ways that we'll talk about in a minute, but obviously this, or during the gameplay, but this is something that, again, because you can enchant permanent and its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities, we can lock things like Planeswalkers down. So that's a very, very powerful card. Next, we have Archon of Sun's Grace. So a flying lifelink creature here. Pegasus creatures we control have lifelink, and it's got Constellation. So Constellation, whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under our control, we get to create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. Constellation, again, is that trigger on an enchantment entering the battlefield. So this is one of the reasons why we would choose white, because we got nice enchantment here. We got other enchantments coming up as well, and then in the sideboard to give you some spoiler there. So next we got Shatter the Sky. Shatter the Sky is a great cleansing for our board here. Each player who controls a creature with power 4 or greater draws a card, then destroys all creatures. We have Ashiok Erasure. So this is actually a card that I really, really like. We can flash it in. When it enters the battlefield, we exile target spell. And then when Ashiok Erasure leaves the battlefield, return exile card to its owner's hand. But our opponents can't cast spells with the same name as the exiled card. So this is really, really powerful. It's a great way to really lock our opponents down and hold them to it. So I really, really like this, and it's a very, very fun one if you like flash decks. Then we got Teferi, Master of Time. So again, another one of here. Here we may activate loyalties of this Planeswalker on any player's turn, anytime. You could cast an instant spell. We can draw a card. We can discard for the +1, -3. Target creature we don't control phases out. So very powerful. And then our down 10, We get to take 2 extra turns after this one. Then we have Elspeth Conquers Death, a very powerful card here. Exile, and it's a saga, so we get 3 things. Exile target permanent an opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Non-creature spells our opponents cast cost 2 more to cast, and then we can return target creature or planeswalker card from our graveyard to the battlefield, then put a +1/+1 counter on it. Or a loyalty counter. Then we have Shark Typhoon, again, another nice enchantment, but then additionally a nice cycle. Whenever we cast a non-creature spell, we get to create a nice little flying shark, and I save some of the time here because if you get this on the board, you might want to go blue for this one. And then additionally, whenever we cycle, we get to create a shark. I like saying Sharknado, but a shark flying creature token for X of whatever that cycle cost was. Then we got Dream Trawler. So this card is super powerful. It's flying, lifelink. Whenever we draw a card, it gets +1/+0 till end of turn. This is a great finisher. Whenever it attacks, we draw a card, and then we can discard a card, and this creature gains hexproof till end of turn and untap it. This card and this creature is very hard to remove off the board. Exile will still hit it. Board wipe Exile still hit it, so you can keep that in mind. And then Shatter Sky would still hit it, but there's not a ton of things right now. Shatter will get it too in terms of that as well, so keep those things in mind. Then we have Emiria's Call, modal land here. Again, my favorite, I like saying the pain lands, but it's not a pain land. Enters, you can pay 3 life and it'll enter in untapped. Or for 7, we can get 2 4/4 flying angel creature tokens with flying. Non-angel creatures we control gain indestructible until next turn, which is very powerful. Then we have good old Seagate Reborn and Seagate Restoration. So again, pay the 3 life, it enters untapped for 1 blue mana, or we can draw cards equal to the number of cards in our hands +1, and we have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Then last but not least, everyone's favorite, we got an Ugin the Spirit Dragon. So Ugin deals 3 damage to any target. For its +2, we get exile each permanent with a converted mana cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors. And then additionally for the down 10, we gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put up to 7 permanents from our hand onto the battlefield. Then here's what we got going on for our lands. We got some castles, which is good. We got Temple of Enlightenment, and we have a Crawling Barrens. I love Crawling Barrens. I would actually, a couple things that I would do. So we have 22 lands plus our modals here. We actually have 24. So this is pretty tight in terms of best of 1 and best of 3 for the particular kind of deck that we have. So that is 1 risk, I'll say, slightly 1 risk. But I wouldn't mind throwing in another Barrens. I also wouldn't mind throwing in the Board Wiper modal land. I think it's 8, where it destroys everything. However, again, we are not a pure control deck. We are a mid-range deck here. So that is one of the things we would lose a lot of value to. So you do need to be careful about those. But another Crawling Barrens wouldn't be the world's worst thing. So Planeswalkers, that is the main board. If you got questions, comments, let me know down below. Feel free to hop in the Discord channel as well. Let's go ahead here and check out the sideboard. So first off, we got Glass Casket. So this is an artifact. When it enters, we can exile a target creature with mana cost 3 or less until this leaves the battlefield. I would run this against any aggro deck. This is going to be the Rogues decks. This is going to be mono red. This is great against Gruul aggro. Great against Selesnya. Great against Selesnya counters. Great against the Orzhov Clerics deck we just did. So many decks, my friends, so many things. So really the key thing is fast little creatures, those kinds of things. Oh, even my favorite mono white deck. Then we got Seasoned Hallowblade. So this is a powerful card. A lot of people forget about this one. So it is ran in the Warriors deck right now, but you can discard a card, tap Seasoned Hallowblade, it gains indestructible till end of turn. This is good again against a lot of those creature-based decks, those faster decks. As we can see, my friends, we have 2 drops, but it's not until 3 that this deck really does a lot of stuff. So again, very, very mid-rangey. This is going to be really helpful. Banishing Light. I would play Banishing Light against more mid-range to late game decks, you're going to want to play this against Yorion decks, Esper decks, Doom decks, those kinds of things. You're going to want to be able to take stuff off the board. This is going to be a big one to help you do that, along with Skyclave, obviously. So I'd keep those things in mind. Next, we got Omen of the Sun. So again, aggro decks, I would primarily play this. I don't mind it against mid-range either, or even some late game decks, just because you can then sack this and still get the value out of it, which is what you want. So those are some good spots for you. Then we got Jace Mirror Mage. So I like this one a lot. Again, good for late game, in my opinion. It allows us to really search for answers. We can kick it for 2, and when it's kicked, we get to create a copy, except its loyalty is 1 to start. We can scry for 2, and then 0, we can draw a card and reveal it, and then remove a number of loyalty counters equal to Jace's converted mana cost. We have Shatter the Sky. So again, this would be helpful against aggro decks or board flooding decks. It's also great against rogues, so keep those things in mind. And then if you are running these, you can really think about how you want to optimize. Once you crash the board, then you can slowly be a little bit more patient on some of these other cards that you may want to play. Sublime Epiphany. So this is a super nasty control card. I love it. And what it does is it's an instance, and we can choose 1 or more. We got a counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature we control, and target player draws a card. So 5 things for 6 mana. 5 for 6. Very, very good. Any late game decks, done. I would even probably play it mid-range, depending on what you're playing. But yeah, that's probably what I would do too. So very, very powerful. Again, lots of things you can do. You can play it on upkeep. You can play it all kinds of spots. So really, really like that one. And then we got Heliod's Intervention. So choose 1, destroy X artifacts and or enchantments, and then target player gains twice X life. So I would play this against the mono white deck, any of the auras decks. So that's mono white auras. That's also, played against mono white life gain, played against mono white auras, played against Orzhov auras, played against mono black auras, lots of auras decks. I would play this then against any Doom deck as well, and then anyone else that runs a lot of enchantments, and it's not bad against mono red, takes out Cleave, takes out Annex, those kinds of things. So Planeswalkers, that is a sideboard. I really like this deck because we got a lot of different interactions going on. We got a lot of different things we can play. I like that. That is some of the things that I enjoy. It's not as linear of a deck, but it helps us in the current meta because you want to have options. So with that said, we'll finish out here by talking about the how we sideboard against aggro, how we sideboard against mid-range, and how we sideboard against late game kind of control decks, and then we'll go play some best of 1 and best of 3 competitive Magic here. So first off, aggro, I would definitely do Glass Casket. I'd probably do Seasoned Hellblade. I would maybe do Omen of the Sun for the life gain, and then maybe the Shatter of the Skies. So that's 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. We're too tight. Very tight on the land, so I can't in good faith tell you to cut lands here on this one. Honestly, I would probably still keep Ugin. I like something at the high end. You're probably not going to need to run Elspeth Conquers Death, maybe 1 to pull something back. I would even consider dropping a Trawler. I would still maybe keep Teffi to look. I'd drop Ashiok. I drop Faith Fetters as well. The life gain's nice, but what you're going to trade for isn't going to help you as much. So that's at 3, 4, let's go 6, 6, and then up closer to, you can drop the negates. You're probably not going to need those actually, so you could go 8. You could always drop Unsubstantiate too if you wanted. If you don't like that that little pop back, I think it's helpful to give you a turn, particularly in the mid range, and particularly because a lot of your answers are here. But that's how I would look at that. You know, you could keep Ashiok's Erasure if you wanted, but I mean, once you get this guy down, it's really going to be helpful too. So lots of good spots there to kind of move things around. Pretty easy to kind of shift in or shift out there. Hopefully you guys saw that, but I would still keep, like I said, a couple things here at the top end, because once you get there, you're going to lock the game in, and you just need enough to kind of get to that point, and your mid-range should hopefully be a little bit stronger here with Archon of Sun's Grace, gaining some of the life back and exiling some of these things as well. And then the other thing that people forget about Unsubstantiate, and this is the other trick, is you can pop your Skyclave back, and you can pop Brazen back, or some of your other things if you're going to do Shatter the Sky, and still get that ability to play it again. So keep that in mind. That's a nice little pro tip there for you. Next, mid-range. So mid-range here, I think this could be important. Again, depending on particularly what it is, if it's more creature-based. If it is a Kroxa type deck, you could consider maybe cutting one of these, because you're not going to hit a whole lot out of that. But the power here is to pull something back if you discard. So keep that in mind. You're probably not necessarily going to run Shatter. You're probably going to want to keep Negate. You may want to keep Unsubstantiate. Let's see here. What would I sideboard in? You might want to do Glass Casket. Glass Casket does hit Kroxa. So keep that in mind. You may want to run Banishing Light as well. Again, this hits... will hit things like Maze Mind Tomb. If you need to, it will hit Ugin. It will hit a lot of stuff that you may need to get off the board. And then you might want Sublime Epiphany as well. And then even potentially Jace Mirror Mage, like I mentioned. So let's say 3, 5... We'll call it 7. Let's go with 7 here. I think that's a good one. What would I change up? Maybe you don't want Omens. What would I change up? I would maybe drop Ashiok's Erasure here. Depends. Maybe drop one Elspeth. Face Fetters, maybe 2. Again, expensive. Life gain's good. So we go 3. We'll go 3 here. Maybe 1 here. That's 4. I would still maybe keep this together. So 4. And let's find like 2 more. Maybe Omen of the Sun, even though that triggers. So the other thing that we got to be careful of is if we start pulling out all of these, we're not going to get any triggers with Archon Sun's Grace, so that might not be the play either. So, you know, you may want to consider those. Or you could drop the Fetters and bring in, and you'll get it off Banishing Light, but you could also bring in the Omens and get a bunch of little creatures. So that could be a trade-off. You're probably going to drop Shatter. So let's see this. I'd go 2 here maybe. Maybe Unsubstantiate. We might want to keep the Negate. So that's 4. We need 2 more. I like Brazen to some extent for the flyer, but you may not need that either. Again, if it's more of a Kroxa non-creature based deck, that could be a choice for you. I still like Neutralize in here for the draw and the control. So let's go 2, 4. That gives you 6 between those, and then you could always drop Faith's Fetters. I think Archon's going to help you a little bit more in the mid range to get some of those tokens and the life gain. So that might be okay for you there. Next, we got late game. So these are going to be things like Big Red, Mono Black, Control, also the Doom decks, those kinds of things. So you're not going to run Glass Casket. Season Hellblade isn't bad. It's an early threat that can put some pressure on. You may want to play Banishing Light. You may want to play Omen of the Sun for fast things. Probably not going to play Shadow of the Sky. Jace Mirror Mage is good. And then probably these ones. So let's say like 5 to 6 there. Late game, we're going to be okay. We'd drop Unsubstantiate. We might keep the Negate. And what else? I may drop Borrower again here. So that gives us 4. And maybe Faith. So you could go 7 there. And I would probably prioritize to keep the Borrower over the 3 flying chip. Is going to be helpful there. So that's what we have. Planeswalkers, really like this deck. I'm excited to play it for you today. Again, this is the Platinum to Mythic, 6+ wins. If you have questions or comments, let me know down below. Feel free to hop on the Discord. Information is down below in the description. Again, make it your own if you got questions about things. Why this, why that. Hopefully I was able to help give you some ideas on how I would kind of change things up earlier on with this deck. So with that said, we're going to go play some competitive Magic here with the Azorius Midrange deck, as I'm calling it here. So we'll go with standard rank. There's a mono black devotion deck you guys should absolutely check out. Super, super fun. Again, another platinum to mythic deck that we did yesterday. But again, it's all about the Azorius Midrange today. All right, Planeswalkers. So we are off quickly here with this deck. What I just want to say, as always, is thank you. Truly, I appreciate your support. Before we play Batman Jut here, please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, feel free to like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch as well to stay up to date on daily content like this. And then also other ways to support the channel down below, like becoming a patron, as I mentioned, running a kickoff here for the first kind of month of doing it. So what do we want to do here? This is an interesting call. We got some delay. If we get one more, we're going to be good there. We do have a Shark Typhoon. I'm actually going to try this, even though we don't have a ton of what I'll just say priority cards in terms of that 3 and 4 slot, which is something you definitely gonna want. The key for us is really can we get that extra white there? So how do I want to play this? I'm actually going to do this first. We can always slow roll it next turn if we need to. And I'm playing unsubstantiated for this exact reason here. Do it again. So we got a few things here. So we got Crawling Barrens we can pop, which we may do. Uh-oh. Well, we're good. All right. I thought it was going to pop out there and maybe they were going to do something, but they did not. Let's see here. So I can get a land. We could play Shark Typhoon. I'm okay with that for right now. There we go. So what we need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they have lethal, so they could have cleave here. So that's 6. I'm just debating what I want to do. I'm gonna push that one back. So I could double up here. Or I could wipe his board, which we'll do first because we still got the other one. Ooh, here we go. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. Let's do this. So this will put, so they'll go 6, 12, we'll gain 3, we'll have to do this. Now, do we have enough? Oh, we still don't have enough. So, what's that give me? Not enough. So let's do this. Go white. Ooh, ooh. Bummer. So couldn't quite get, if we had the mana base set up a little bit differently there, we might have been okay. We did not hit it. We did not quite get the control set up, but not a bad showing against a top tier deck in best of one. So I was pretty happy with that, actually. Again, didn't quite get that. Probably could have got those sharks down a little bit differently. Was trying to get the full investment off it. Didn't quite get there. Now here we got the white, but we don't have the blue. So we got the opposite problem. I'm going to try it though again. We did it last time, so we'll see. We'll see if we can hit the lands. We got a good healthy rate here though on the draw, so... Ooh, a cycle deck. So we may pay for it in this match. Actually, more so than the mono red match. Oh no! I may have to do another one here if I get stuck for you guys. We'll see. Or just go right to best of 3. All right. We gotta go into full control here. We're essentially dead at this point because even if we get a land, we don't have anything that we can play at a 3-drop that's going to change the board. So it's not going to make a difference. And these cycle decks are making a huge comeback right now. Definitely were heavily played at the end of the season. I ran into them a bunch. So please feel free to check out the cycle deck that we've done too. I really do enjoy this deck. Take a look. Yeah, I know it's good game, my friend. We'll play it out. We'll go white. And we'll get off that. Bum, bum, bum. We're going to go right to best of 3. So we had a good first match, bad second match on the lands. I feel bad because I feel like the last few days, but that's Magic. We hit, we don't do well. I'm losing my rank in tier 2. Oh, the pain, the horror. You guys know I'm a good sport though, so all for you guys. All right, we're gonna move right into the best of 3 match. I do like this deck though. It is definitely fun. There's the mono black one again, traditional standard ranked. Let's go into it here with the Azorius Midrange deck. So took a risky bet first match, did okay. Second match did not do okay in best of 1. But before we get into Simon SC here playing Walkers, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on daily content like this. And then additionally, so finally we get some lands. finally we get some lands. We're going to keep this. Additionally, Planeswalkers, other ways to support the channel down below, like becoming a patron, deck list available down below there in the description as well. And then feel free to hop into the Discord channel as well. I'm debating on this one. I might keep that. So this is the Temur deck here, so this will be an interesting matchup for us. I'm not, I'll say, I'm debating about keeping this in case they play a ramp card. Now, we do have stuff like Elspeth Conquers Death, which is big against this deck. That I will return. Keep that one. So Ashiok's Erasure could really help us in this deck too. So we'll leave that. So I need some board wipe stuff here too. We're gonna cycle.
Ready for a good time.
Play Teffy.
Time to improvise.
I like negates. Ooh, what do I want to get rid of? What do I want to get rid of here? I'm actually gonna get rid of my. Well, I need the life gain though. Might drop the Typhoon. So I'm just waiting for that ultimatum, which I think 7. We'll see if we live long enough. We got decent stuff here. We got decent mana base, so we just need to figure out how we're gonna play. So we're gonna lose Teffy either way.
Love a good puzzle. I'll just come back yesterday.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doing that to buy me a turn. We still have Shatter the Sky too. There we go. They'll get their 5 in. We can go shatter. I think we do that. I think they'll keep their Obosh. No, maybe not. I was expecting an ultimatum there, but maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they got the 2 cost more. So it should be good for ultimatum. There it is. And that's why I wish I had Ashiok's Erasure there. So I will pull this back. I need my counters. Do you want to get rid of terror? Let's get rid of terror. Because they would have ultimatum if they had it. So this gives me a slight better chance. guy off the board. So if they got another ultimatum, they're gonna be in a good spot. Good. That's their turn. Alright, I think we are in the clear for this match, my friends. I think we're in the clear. That's a big win here in the first match. Oh, very nice, very, very nice. So, let's think about how we want to play this one now. I'm gonna drop Unsubstantiate. Brazen Borrower's not gonna help us as much. I'm gonna drop Heraldic. Hellblade could. I don't want that to backfire though. I'm gonna run the Bashing Lights. I'm gonna run Omens. I don't think Jace is going to help us much. That might help us late game. These... don't want to use those either, so let's put something else in there. I don't mind another Shatter. And maybe Jace. Okay, we'll run that. I'm okay with that. You could go Glass Casket here, but I'm gonna run more removal and Banishing Light, so we'll go that route instead. Oof. On to match number 2 here, Planeswalkers. Let's see how this goes. And we start with Ugin. I'm gonna keep this because I'll just cycle Shark if I need to. Now, we have to remember that if we use Ugin, it's going to hurt us a little bit too. So we just need to be careful on that with the Banishing Light here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we knew that was coming. Ooh, that's gonna be painful. I need a board wiper here. We did not hit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good news is they think we're probably a little bit more control-y than we are, which is nice. So we'll see here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If only we had one more. One, 2, 3. There we go. I think I have to counter here, though. I don't think I have a choice. This I will counter. Oh, good old slips. There you go. So the only good news is we have 3, but we're going to get pummeled by the other Kazendu guy here. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Well, I'm definitely going to block this one, so that's a non-issue. Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target permanent to its owner's hand, create a copy of target creature, and then draw a card. We are going to play Ugin. What's this? 9. We got 3. Oh, well, they'll have a game after that. Alright, we'll go to our third match. Alright, knew that was going to happen. Not much we could do. Maybe we do want to pull back the unsubstantiates there. Archon of Emeria is going to be the key to helping us in this matchup. We just did not quite get there, unfortunately. I'm going to try it again. I'll stick with what we got. That's the one thing with the one-offs is you do run the risk of not hitting. So, but this is, again, a very nice, probably tier 1 deck, to be honest. We will keep this because I got this guy. Now, I do want to look for answers. I will keep that one. And I'll look again. Take the land. Let's look. Do I keep that? That's a good question. I'm gonna keep looking there. So now we can keep gaining. Next turn we can play Omen of the Sun on their turn. And that's gonna give us some nice tokens here. So right now, they don't have the ultimatum. Block one there. Kick for 5. Oh, there's the slip. There you go. And they're dead next turn. So far, we'll see if they remove something. But we also have Maze Mine. And they're at 6. Boom, we got it. Arkin locked them down, my friends. We did it. We beat top deck, taking us back in Platinum Tier 2. Great match in best of 3. So Planeswalkers, we'll go ahead and check it out. Worked out better that second, third match. First was great, third was great. Middle one, we got smoked. And we closed out our completion of the day. And quickly, as always, let's go ahead and walk through this. But as a recap, we did not show well in the best of 1. We did okay in the first match. Second match, we got terrible hands. Kept something we probably shouldn't have kept. Best of 3 worked out great, played well. Deck ran well, lots of fun options there. So here's what we have going on again, my friends. This is an Azorius Midrange deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Definitely, obviously ran like a control deck. Really would have liked some more of those counter spells when we need them, but that was also just the nature of the beast of what we played. But how we played it ended up working out well. Really liked it. It was a lot of fun. So if you do have questions, comments, ideas, again, I always say make the deck your own. Let me know. Hop in the Discord. That's in the description down below. Also, deck link and list down below. And then Planeswalkers, as always, I appreciate your support. I really do. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date on content like this and daily videos coming your way. Additionally, feel free other ways to support the channel down below in the description by becoming a patron or something like a patron. Always appreciate that, Planeswalkers. All right, so this is what we had today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Again, a Platinum to Mythic deck. Well done. Really liked it. A lot of fun. I love doing this kind of stuff for you guys. So Planeswalkers, you stay safe. Take care. Until next time, I will see you soon. Mythras out.